In this class, we are going to understand about jagged arrays. Actually, arrays are of three types: single dimensional arrays, two dimensional arrays, and jagged arrays. Already we have completed single and two dimensional arrays. Now in this class, we are going to understand about jagged arrays. What is a jagged arrays? A jagged array is an array of dynamic arrays. Okay, it is an array of dynamic arrays. Now what does mean? Let me explain here. Let's say. So what is the difference between two dimensional arrays and jagged arrays? If you take a two-dimensional array, in a two-dimensional array, what happens is each row contains same number of columns. Suppose 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. So it is a two-dimensional array where each row is containing what? Same number of columns. 3 columns, 3 columns, 3 columns. So first row contains 3 columns, second row contains 3 columns, third row also contains 3 columns. Okay. Now what is a jagged array? A jagged array is a one. Okay, so it is an array. Let's say that it is an array. Okay, this is what jagged array. Okay, jagged array, assume that. Okay, now it is an array where each element contains again dynamic arrays. For example, is two elements array. This is what three elements array. This can be what five elements array, like this it can be. Okay, so jagged array is an array of what? Dynamic arrays. Now where each row contains different number of columns. Each row contains different number of columns. Each row contains different number of columns. This is what we call as jagged array. So what is the difference between two dimensional array and jagged array? Means in two dimensional arrays each row contains same number of columns. In the jagged arrays each row contains different number of columns. This is what the jagged array is. Okay. So how we are going to write the syntax? It is very similar to two dimensional array. The thing here, it is data type you have to write, and here array name, and open this is for rows and this is for columns. Okay, is equal to new is a keyword which is used to allocate the memory of this particular data type we have to allocate, and we have to specify only rows memory here and don't specify the columns memory. If you are not specifying the columns memory, then it becomes what? Jagged array. Okay, so if you don't give column size, and it become what? Jagged array. Clear? Right. So let us write a program on this particular thing, how we are going to implement the jagged array in Eclipse. Okay, let us say that now I am going to delete this particular thing, right? So when we come to this jagged arrays, how can you create? Let's say that integer. Now I am going to write here a is equal to new of integer of, I can say that rows, 3 rows I am writing here, the columns is empty columns. Therefore it becomes now what? Jagged array. Okay, jagged array. Then now what is happening with this? Let me show in the diagram, please. In the diagram I am going to make you understand side by side. Okay, so now what happens in the jagged array? Let us understand. So what happened here? It is a is a reference variable created like this. A is a reference variable, this variable created over here, and to which 3 rows of memory is allotted to the a. Therefore it is allotted with 3 rows. Let's say that 3 rows like this: 0, 1, 2. Assume the address of this particular array is 101. This 101 address is assigned here, pointing to this one. Like this, now a is allotted with what? 3 elements of memory, like this. Clear? Right. Now for each element or for each row, we are going to allocate different columns memory. How? Let me show you that one. So let's say a of 0 is equal to new of integer of 2 elements memory I am allotting. A of 1 is equal to new of, okay, new of integer of 3 elements I am going to allot. A of 2 is equal to new of integer of 4 elements I am going to allot. Okay, so what happening here? It is now see integer, new of integer of 2 means 2 elements memory is allotted to a of 0, then 3 elements memory is allotted to a of 1, then 4 elements memory is allotted to what? A of 2. So therefore a of 0 is allotted with how much memory? 2 elements. Like this 2 elements is going to be created 0, 1, and for this one element it is going to allot what? 3 elements of memory, 0, 1 and 2, and for this a of 2 it is going to allot what? 4 elements of memory, like this 0, 1, 2 and what? 3. Okay, this is what. So what is this element now represent? This element index is what? A of 0 of 0. This element index is a of 0 of 1. So similar to two dimensional arrays only. So now then a of 1 of 0 this element is, and a of 1 of 1 this element is represented. So similar to two dimensional arrays, only the number of columns is varying here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to store the values. For storing the values, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take I variable, j variable, and k is equal to 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill the values into this particular elements. In these elements, I'm going to auto fill the elements. Okay. So what I'm going to do is auto fill okay values, autofill values in elements. Okay, elements of array. Okay, so for that I'm writing some logic. Okay, so how you are going to write the loops for this particular two-dimensional array, right? That is, row number is represented by, okay, I repeat, row numbers are represented by I variable, and these column numbers are represented by j variable. Okay, so therefore now I am going to write here, right? So let us say that for I is equal to 0, I is less than how many rows are present? A dot length will give the number of rows. Okay, so I write here A dot length. Length is a predefined variable that can be used with arrays. Okay, A dot length means the number of rows present in this A array. So number of rows is 3 rows. Okay, then I plus plus I am going to write here. So this is what number of rows. So this particular loop represents rows. Okay, then columns, how can we write? For j is equal to 0 and j is less than okay, a of ith row dot length I am going to write, then I plus plus, okay, I plus plus, sorry, j plus plus I am going to write. Okay, here, like, now this particular thing is going to represent what columns. Clear? Then now this I variable represents row number and j variable represents column number. So let's say that how can we write it? Now what I'm going to do is a of ith row of jth column is stored with what? K multiplied by 10. Okay, so what's the k initial value is 1. 1 multiplied by 10 is, okay, 10 stores here. Next time what I'm going to write? K plus plus. So in the next iteration the k becomes 2 and 2 multiplied by 20 is 20 stores here. Then k becomes 3. 3 multiplied by 10 is 30 stores into another element. Like this it is going to auto fill the values into this particular array. Now I am going to print this particular array by using sysout. Okay, sysout. Okay, a array values. What are the a array values? As I already told you that we can use arrays class to print the two-dimensional arrays or single dimensional arrays. So arrays dot deep toString. So deep toString. This deep toString method can be used to print the two-dimensional array. So deep toString of a. Okay. So let us see how it is going to work now. So let me show you here execution and we see the output. Later on we understand. See. So first row is stored with what? This 10, 20. Second row is stored with what? 3 elements, 30, 40, 50. And the third row is stored with what? 60, 70, 80, 90, 4 elements. Okay. 2 elements, 3 elements and 4 elements. Clear? Now I am going to explain how it will work. Let me show you here. Okay, with this particular diagram I am going to show you. Let me first of all minimize this particular thing and let me explain. Okay, alright, let me show you here. So first of all let me change the color of this particular pen. Right, let's say that the marker color I have changed. Now let me explain this one. So how it is going to work? Let's see that. Initially I is equal to how much? 0. Okay, so what's the value of I, please? I is equal to 0. Okay, then 0 is less than a dot length. A dot length means 3. Okay, 3. Yes, true. Enters here. Now what's the k value, please? K value I have not taken, please. K is equal to initially 1, please. Okay, k is equal to 1. Therefore I is equal to 0, then goes here. J is equal to also 0. So therefore j is also 0. Okay, then j is less than a of I dot length. Okay, what is a dot I dot length? Okay, so what is the value of this particular I? I is equal to what? 0. Therefore what is the a of 0? A of 0 is how much? A of 0 length. What is a of 0 length? Is how many elements? 2 elements. Okay, so therefore now we are going to understand about that particular thing, like what? 2 elements. So here what you get? Here it is going to happen with what? 2. Okay, 2 it is going to substitute. Okay, this total value will be substituted with what? 2. Okay, 2 times this loop will run. Clear? Right? Let me explain once again, please. Okay, let me explain once again. So this is, what's the value of I now? The I is equal to what? 0. So a of 0 dot length. A of 0 dot length. What is a of 0 dot length? A of 0 length is what? 2 elements. So therefore this is going to be substituted with the 2. Okay, in that case what happens? Let us see now. Okay, j is equal 0. 0 is less than 2. Yes, enters here. A of I of j is equal to k multiplied by 10. K is 1. 1 multiplied by 10 is 10. 10 stores into A of I of j means 0 of 0. Okay. So A of 0 is stored with what? 10. A of 0 stored with what? 10. So here it is going to store with 10. Okay. Then after k plus plus, k becomes what? 2. Let me show you. K becomes 2. Then okay, end of the for loop, and what? J plus plus. J becomes what now? J becomes what? 1. Okay, let me show you here. 1. So 1 is less than 2. Yes, enters here. Then A of I of j is equal to k multiplied by 10. K is how much now? 2. 2 multiplied by 20. 20 stores into what? A of I of j means 0 of 1. So A of 0 of 1 is stored with 20. So A of 0 of 1 is stored with 20. Like this, it is going to store 20. Okay. Then after k plus plus, k becomes what? Yeah, k becomes what? Okay, 3. Then end of the for loop, then j plus plus. What the j becomes now? J becomes what? 2. Then 2 is less than 2, false. False means this inner loop will terminate. Okay. Then end of the outer loop, then I becomes what? Plus plus. Okay. I plus plus means it becomes 1. It goes to the next row. Okay. Then let us say, let us get back here. Okay. This is the actual code. Okay. Now let's say that I is equal to 1. Okay. 1. Now get back. 1 is less than 3. Yes, true. True means again going to this for loop. J again begins at what? 0. J again begins at 0. Then A of I dot length. What's I now? It is 1. So A of 1 dot length. What is A of 1 dot length is 3 elements. Therefore, this code is substituted with what? This code is substituted with what now? 3. Okay, let me write here 3. This code will be substituted with what? 3. Is that clear? Right? Again, now j is equal to 0, therefore goes into this particular 0. 0 is less than 3. Yes, true. Goes here. Now stores with what? A of I of j. What is that? Is 1 of 0. Okay. So A of 1 of 0. This element is stored with what? Stored with what? K multiplied by 10. K is what? 3. 3 multiplied by 10 is 30. 30 stores into A of I of j. That is 1 of 0. So therefore A of 1 of 0 is stored with what? 30. Okay, in the similar fashion, it is going to store 40 here, 50 here, 60, 70, 80, and 90. Okay, and okay, this is what automatically it will fill all the values into this array. Later on, we are printing this particular A matrix by using arrays.deep2string. So as a result, you will get the output in this way. See, this is output that will be getting. Let me run the program. Otherwise, once again. Okay, sorry, this is let me get back to the actual code. Right, this is the actual code. So let me run the program, please. Let me run the program and see the output. See, this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60, 70, 80. This is how I am getting the output of this particular program, similar to this one. Is it okay? This is what we call as jagged array. So jagged array is very similar to two-dimensional array. The only difference is that each row can contain different number of columns. Is it okay? Right? So this is what the program of what I mean to say is jagged arrays. Okay.